Happy weekend, everybody. Welcome to Friday's analysis, which was April 14, 2023. Hope you had a great Friday and you're enjoying this weekend. Okay, guys, so starting with MES chart, you can see this is the daily chart. Now we have a little bit of low coming out here. Okay, so around 20th to 24th. This is just an estimate of a cycle. So we can expect a little bit of pullback early next week. Okay, so look for buying that pullback because that's going to be a great opportunity. And then if I go to weekly chart, you can see what's going on. I think this big cycle is coming, so I'm expecting higher prices later on in the week. So let's go back to daily. So get a little bit of pullback and then looking for more prices, basically not a lot higher, but close to 4300 zone. And also when I show you this chart, you can see this is my sell zone, which is around 4147 to 4309. So we are entering our sell zone. So maybe a choppy action, a little bit of higher prices. Now this rotation is almost 6%, so towards the end of the run. So you should be looking to take profits. Okay, you should not be looking to go long here, but maybe a little bit more upside, but we're almost towards the end of the rotation. Okay, so be very careful. You should be looking to basically make a sell call, sell put options, or basically you can buy inverse ETFs. Okay, but look to buy this dip, maybe one more push higher, and then that's it. All right. Now showing on SPY, which is the ETF we used to trade, you can see SPY had a dodgy candle today. It was like an indecision candle. We are now finding support on this green line. You can see this green 10 MA. Let's quickly look at 1 hour chart and see there is a gap here, slight gap here around 408. There's gap here around 403. There is gap here around 401, and there's another big gap around 390. All these gaps will be eventually filled, but I don't know when, but eventually they will be filled this year. Okay, now this can move like this. Okay, so we can get a little bit pullback early next week and then a pump higher. So my final targets are here around 427 and 421. All right, so not a lot of upside left. If you are looking for long, wait to buy the dip, but from percentage wise, today's close we are up around 3%. Sorry, we only 3% profit is around to fill these gaps. Okay, so be very careful. If you're looking to go long, look to take profits very fast. Okay, all right, and let's go to quickly to MNQ chart, which is Nasdaq. Let's quickly go to this chart here and see how it is going. So if I go here, you can see we are right in the middle, which is like a neutral zone. It can go as high as around 13,800, or if it goes down to around 1240, 480, it's a good buying opportunity. So we are pretty much in the neutral zone in the middle. So yeah, so I'm looking for a bounce higher. Next week is Netflix and Tesla earnings. So if everything goes good, we can get a bounce higher till here. That will be a good time to sell. Okay. All right. So let's go back now to MNQ, same concept here. Okay, also we can see we are still above this 10 MA, this green line, finding a lot of support around this area. So any pullback, we are looking for a good support on this 12.9, almost around 13,000. Okay, you can see how, if I zoom in, how many times, like almost all week, every day, we are finding support and buying here. Okay, so which is a very good sign. All right, and also this is our target 13,750, 13,800. So look to take profits there. If I go to triple Qs, so those levels are around basically 322 and 328. Those are my targets to take profit. Now also they are, go to 1 hour chart. Let's see if we created a gap today. Yeah, we did create a gap. So you can see this is a gap around 318, so that's not fair. Also this is huge gap here. Okay, so those are my targets to buy. Okay, so if we get some dip early next week, look to buy around these lines. Okay, and then also this 50 MA is coming around here, so look to take profits there. Also let's quickly see if I can I have that other chart here which I showed you. Here you go. Let's quickly show you the chart here. So basically we are in this, you can see April to May, we're in this upside zone. So now we're already above this previous high, so almost getting to the top. Okay, and then I'm expecting a dump around in the summer. Okay, so look to take profits. There's still some upside left, so keep looking to take profits. Okay, all right guys. Okay, so let's quickly go to VIX. VIX got crushed. It's again 4%. So this is the indication we got to be now a little bit careful. Okay, so VIX about to enter a big demand area. You can see big demand area here, around 16 bucks, 16.65. So big fix would definitely pop after that. So we are almost getting close to like a big support zone here. Okay, so when we are here, you should be looking to take profits, and it's possible when we get, also it's possible early next week if we get some weakness, it could take a bit of a bounce. You can see what happened here. When we are here, took a little bit bounced and came back. So if we have weakness early next week, we'll have a little bit of pump and then dump again. So, but what I'm trying to tell you is upside is limited, downside is a lot. Okay, so don't be too aggressive buying here. All right, so let's move along with the US 30, which is Dow Jones. You can see Dow Jones very close to the resistance here. You can see. So let's move this line here. So let's look to take, basically should be looking to take profits. We do need a pullback before we can go much higher, very close to this resistance zone here. Okay, so this is not the time to go long. US 2000, again, this is the chart here looking for, it is not able to go a lot higher. Now it's very close to this resistance zone. So that will put a lot of sell pressure here. Okay, so this is a buy area. Okay, so looking for equal lows or lower lows. This is also a list of 2000 companies, a lot of regional banks here. So a lot of weakness in this sector. Oil is still holding, but I think it's just a trap. I'm looking for weakness, big gap here. Eventually this gap will be filled. Okay, natural gas, if I go to 1 hour chart, you can see this gap was filled. So you can see there was this gap is filled now, so we can get rid of this. And now we are higher. I think the bottom is in my perspective. You can see now a little bit more upside and down. So it's just going to be a little bit choppy, more pump than dump. So this is still a good time to buy if you want to go long. And then eventually when we are here, this is where the bigger cycle starts. Okay, so this is where you should be looking for huge pump later on. So that's happening there. And Bitcoin looking good. Again, this is a support line. There's divergence in on PPO and RSI. Still not able to break this resistance. Okay, so it's almost towards the end of the move, I think. So maybe it needs a little bit more cool down before it can bump higher. So any dumps, look to buy around this support area. All right. Ethereum, let's go to Ethereum weekly chart. I updated this, upgraded this. So basically now I think we're almost near the top, and then this cycle low is coming around June, July. So it will probably dump there, but this bottom is in. This bottom is in. So this support can also now go higher because it's high. So look to buy around this support here around 1800. So that's what I will be looking to buy Ethereum. All right. Dollar again slightly higher today. Let's go to daily, but it's just like chopping around, but eventually it's going to dump, and my targets are here around June, July time frame. It's going to dump lower. Gold massive down day today. Looks like now starting to get a little bit of divergence on PPO now. So you can see PPO gold was making new highs with lower momentum on PPO and RSI. Also got a sell dot on gold today. So yeah, I don't know why I keep saying dollar, but you look at this path very nicely coming out. So I'm looking to buy around 1900 support later on. Silver, same thing. Looks like top is in. Same thing. Looking for sell zone. And also you can see this whole area is good support here. Okay, so this whole area, let's see here. So looking for silver to find support around 23 bucks. All right. TNX mortgage rates are pumping, and almost tech was flat. So again, little bit of bouncing here and there, but there's another gap now created here. You can see on the mortgage rates. You can put it here. So yeah, probably most likely we're gonna go and fill those gaps. So looking for downside from here. Okay, like this. All right. Bonds weakness, again you can see my projection here. Now it's right on this 200 SMA. Okay, this is a critical time now for bonds, so it really needs to bounce now. If not, then it's going to be really bearish. Okay, so this is a perfect area to bounce. This is the time to buy. So you have to wait and see on Monday if it stays here or if it goes down to this 50 SMA, but this is going to be really bearish if it closes below this 200 SMA blue line. All right. Okay, let's quickly look at sectors. So starting with gold miners, again, I think looks like top is in. I don't see any divergences on daily chart, but there are a lot of gaps on hourly chart. So basically another gap created. There are gaps here, so multiple gaps. So there's not a lot of upside, but a lot of downside left. That's my point. Okay. And XLE energy sector, again looking for this big gap to fill, and there's another gap, this massive gap here, so that's my final target to buy here. I'm not interested until we are at least here. XLU kind of down, but there are a lot of gaps, so next week if we get weakness, look to buy around this gap fills for a bounce higher. Health sector again had a massive pump. Again, there's this gap. Did it fill? Let's quickly take a look. We're almost close to filling this gap, but I don't think this gap is filled yet. So let's wait for price action to fill this gap. Another gap here. So multiple gaps created. Should find support around one of these gaps. XLF, with huge earnings from JP Morgan. So it's pumping, but there's another significant risk coming here around May timeframe, around early May. So it's possible we can have a dump. Okay, so be very careful again on XLF. Industrial sectors, basically almost near resistance. A little bit of pullback will be healthy for a pump higher later on. Real estate sector, dumping. Okay, looks like it filled this gap, so we can get rid of this. Now another gap here. So this is another massive gap. Most likely it's going to fill this gap. And there's another gap right down, so it can go as low as here or even here. So you have to be aware of that before the next pump higher, all right? Tesla earnings next week, so be very careful. Looks like it's still not able to close above this resistance line, all right? And there are no gaps. There's one massive gap at the down here, and there are multiple gaps towards the up. So depending on earnings, which is on basically, I think, Wednesday, 19th of April. So if earnings are bad, it will be opening right here at the gap fill, and then that will be a great buying opportunity to pump higher. But if earnings are good, it could gap up, and there are multiple gaps. There is also this massive gap around 264. So I don't know. So it's like right in the middle here. Okay, so it's like neutral right now. Okay, so let's go to other stocks. Apple, 0.2%, massive candle, very close to this resistance zone, not able to close above this resistance zone. You can see this whole line. So many times it created a bear market in Apple, so it's right there. So we got to be very careful. We have to wait for this to close. Now it's possible it can go and fill these upper two gaps. So if it pumps higher from here, look for taking profits around these two. But it's possible it might be topping out. So let's go to 1 hour chart. Again, multiple gaps to the downside. So yeah, we have to be careful and see if there's a little bit more pump, more downside next week. We could come to fill these two gaps before a pump higher, but this is the time to take profits. Amazon, basically kind of flat, gap up and gap down. We'll see how it goes, but it's possible it can go there. So eventually this is my target. We're getting very close to that target. But any pullbacks you should be looking to buy. And this is one of the FANG stocks, which is like still very good price look compared to others. Still did not pump too much. So earnings can be really good, and you should be looking to buy this Amazon. Google, still divergence on RSI and PPO made a new high or equal high. I think we can get rid of this. Another gap it filled today, I think. Yeah, so we can get rid of this. And yeah, so now there's another gap here. So like, yeah, so Google is looking really strong. Any pullback you should be looking to buy, okay? And there are multiple gaps still up here on Google. Meta, massive gap here. A lot of gaps here. Today also, let's see, go to 1 hour chart. Looks like we created a gap. Yeah, so another gap created here. So full of gaps. It's going higher on divergence on PPO and RSI, which is not a good sign. So you can see PPO is also going down. So this is an early indication of a reversal about to happen. So probably most likely during earnings time, we're going to have this big dump, it looks like. Okay, so like this. And we could be careful around earnings time, all right? Netflix, basically down, Netflix down 2%, but it's okay. Like it's gap down, gap up. Any pullbacks look to buy. Microsoft, same thing, look to buy any pullbacks. Okay, so let me move this slightly here. Snowflakes looking good, and no gaps to the downside, only gaps to the upside. So look to buy this gap. You should be looking to buy. It's also at a great price here. Okay, so very good to buy. Nvidia holding support line here. You can see it's holding this nice support line, still on this support line. Okay. So until this thing breaks, do not look to sell. AMD, some huge gaps to the downside, so I'm looking for during earnings time a dump and then buy it later on. Okay. Okay, guys, that's it. Please, on your way back, hit the like button. It just takes 1 second to like. And have a great rest of the day and happy weekend. Bye.